I'll tell you one thing. I saw a name on the NFL Top 100 that made me think about a Bills player, and that's number 82, Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy goes from not ranked to 82, and what brought it about? It was a change of scenery.
Yeah.
He was a high draft pick. He was thought to be, like a wide receiver one coming out of college, out of Alabama. He goes to he goes to Denver first, and it never really gets off the ground there.
No.
Then he goes to Cleveland and puts up some pretty big numbers, and he's on the NFL Top 100. And that got me thinking about Elijah Moore, who... What's Elijah Moore's arc? It's not quite as high profile as Jeudy, but he's a second-round pick that we would have talked about when the Browns drafted him. The Jets.
Jets, yeah.
Yeah, the Jets drafted him. He goes from the Jets to the Browns. And when he went from the Jets to the Browns, people thought, oh, maybe there's the change of scenery. He was targeted plenty, and now he's here where, whatever. We don't talk about it from a fantasy football standpoint where it's targets and numbers, but on just ability... The guy's going to – Bills fans are starting to expect a lot from Moore. And I don't know that that's crazy. I saw one poll asking, do you think he'll have better numbers than he's ever had here? How confident are you that Moore will put up career highs in certain departments? And I think it's very possible. He's got as good a pedigree as anybody on the roster in terms of, you're a second-round pick. Keon Coleman's a second-round pick. Shakir – obviously a fifth-round pick, but looks really darn good, has come into his own. Josh Palmer is, Moore has as good a chance as anybody to be the second best pass-catching option on this team. If you want to cap that ceiling at third best, okay, but I think the expectations for Moore are much more reasonable than last year when, you'd have people trying to convince you that Chase Claypool, also second-round pick, right? He was second
Right.
I never thought the Claypool thing was going to get off the ground. And with Moore, I think it makes a lot of sense that it really could.
Yeah. The only holdup is they didn't really pay him like they're expecting it. Which
$5 million, up to $5 million is a lot to get off the street right now.
That's right.
It's not like you're 15 like Beckham gets.
And it's not even the Palmer contract, right?
That's right.
It's not Palmer 3 years with guaranteed money and $11 million per year. But no, you're right. It is also not the Claypool contract. Which is what?
$1 million?
Was that $1 million?
1 to 2.
Vet minimum, whatever. The point for me would be that he feels capable of it. That maybe they're hoping for it as a bonus, and that he was just sitting out there and the market wasn't really all that strong. So, all right, let's give this a shot, and it's not going to cost a ton of money. But is he capable of it? Because for that, I mean, there's more for him on tape and in the numbers that I think shows that he could be a really good receiver still than there was with Claypool, than there was with MVS last year. And I don't want to overreact to it, but he did look really, really fast in that one Twitter video that he put out about a week ago.
Yeah.
That's not even training camp videos. That is workouts before training camp videos that I don't want to overreact to too much. But, I mean, don't you see in that video what makes him different than those other guys, which is his ability to cut like that, and isn't that part of what makes him a good route runner, and his ability to separate and get open? Because that's the thing that Claypool wasn't doing.
No.
Claypool looked like a specimen. He is huge and fast, and he is in great shape, and he looks like that guy's got to be good at football, but he didn't really get open. Even when he put up some big numbers in Pittsburgh, it wasn't really him getting open all that much. Whereas Elijah Moore, that separation ability, I think if you have that ability, you're a certain level of good in the NFL. You're not going to crash and burn. And I feel like Moore, that's his skill set. He's going to separate from guys. And maybe that means that he'll only be pretty good, but I don't know. I like the skill set a lot.
Well,
him.
Pretty good is useful. I mean, this team, could use some pretty good receivers, and I think they might have a couple of avenues to get there. More, you might also line up that this is the next Curtis Samuel hope. Samuel might be the guy that we forget about the most in this group because Palmer, Coleman. I mean, Palmer's on the outside, and he's supposed to be their man beater, and Shakir and Kincaid. You've got all these pieces, and Samuel's the one where, I mean, he's got a healthy contract, but I don't know. I don't know how they're going to use him. Allen came to his defense at the end of the season or off season saying, like, turf toe, never got on the right foot. And that's another thing that has to happen here is can Allen get better chemistry with some of these guys? Kincaid's the top answer for this. In talking with Joe Marino of Locked On Bills, he points out that of all the tight ends in football, when they're on the field, the most targeted tight end was Dalton Kincaid. Like his targets per route run for tight ends was at the top.
Yeah.
And here we are thinking it's not really working so far. So could that just be chemistry, time in the lab, if I could use that with finger quotes, that if those two get on the same page and start to really understand each other, how they see the game the same way, that Kincaid can blossom the way people think he's going to. But
yeah,
there's a lot of different avenues to finding this offense right where it was last year, near the top of the league. And I guess the question is, which arrangement of these players will do it the best? Will it be more jumping over Curtis Samuel, which I think is very possible? Will it be more commanding more targets than, who's next up on the projected target chart? Could he out-target Coleman? I don't know. I don't think so.
I think you would hope.
Because Coleman's going to be on the field an awful lot.
You would hope that wouldn't you hope he doesn't? Wouldn't it be the best? Does it matter? I mean, one guy is younger and he plays a different type of role for their offense. Like that maybe is part of it. It's not only what they've invested in Coleman, but it also is what role he plays, what they want him to play. They want him to be the X receiver that is on the field all the time, that is blocking, that is going to turn to this well-rounded player. Shouldn't I want Coleman to be the one that really jumps forward just because of even the draft status? Like, that's why I kind of like Elijah Moore being here and Palmer and the rest of them, because if Coleman doesn't take a step forward, I feel like they're still in good shape. I feel like they're in pretty darn good shape. But if I can, in a perfect world, pick one of them that's going to take that big step forward, I think I would want to take that guy. And it's not just what they picked. Again, it's part of they're going to have him on the field all the time. And that was Matt Collins. Like, do I want my ex-receiver being a guy like that who is, like he was a great character and he was okay out there on the field, but the guy that played the most snaps for me on the field was not my most dangerous wide receiver. And I think I'd like to get back to a place where those guys aren't just running empty calorie routes, clear out routes down the field and blocking. Mm-hmm. Like, I want that player to be somebody that you have to worry about. And like Coleman's not coming off the field.
I think he's on the field a lot.
If he doesn't take a step forward as a separator and a route runner, and even if he doesn't get better with the contested catch, which he had some bad numbers on last year, if all of that doesn't get better, he's still on the field, right? Because who else plays that role? Who else is blocking? Who else is playing the X? He's on the field.
Yeah. After Palmer and Coleman out there, it's...
Whereas if Elijah Moore doesn't play well, he's not out there.
No, you've got options.
So, and even Kincaid last year, as Joe pointed out, Joe Marino led the league in targets per route run. He only ran a route on 62% of their pass plays. So, I mean, that could be injury too for him, right? But even Kincaid, like, if it's not going well with Kincaid, I got Dawson Knox and I play more 11 personnel, right? If Coleman doesn't, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm putting Tyrell Shavers out there in the field. Who's playing that spot if Coleman's not doing it?
803-0550. Have a Twitter poll up about the Bills offseason. We are, of course, one day away from rookies reporting, and then we get on to regular training camp to start Wednesday next week. That's when the first practice will be.
By the way, you mentioned Jerry Jeudy at the end of last season. Yeah. This is where I like the comparison. I don't think Elijah Moore has quite this ceiling where from week 9 on last year in Cleveland, week 9 on, Jerry Jeudy had 95 targets in the Browns offense.
That's a lot.
There were only 4. There were 3 in the league that outpaced him. I think you could get the 3. No, one of them might be tough. Chase, Adams, and Neighbors. Adams getting 99 surprised me, because those were all with the Jets.
Yeah,
but I guess they force-fed him.